change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world, and that's our job. Tell me why. Why can't we live together? Tell me why. Why can't we live together? Everybody wants to live together. Why can't we live together?
Hello, all you melanated beauties. Sun-kissed by God's lips. This is Coy with your black tea sip. I'm sipping power to pour you the truth. Go grab your cup. Let's fill it up.
Welcome, all you melanated beauties. Sun-kissed by God's lips. This is your girl, Coy, with your black tea sip. Today is Friday. Hi, Lola. Hi. And we are excited and happy that it's Friday because lots of things are brewing. I mean, not only are you going to have, I am predicting that everybody's going to have a tremendous weekend, black tea sip style, but you're going to have a great weekend because we're going to talk about some things that y'all want to talk about because y'all are DMing me and texting me, people that know me personally. I had somebody ask me, Lola, if there was pee in the dating pool. I said, well, is there pee in the dating pool?
What is pee in the dating pool?
Somebody pissed in the pool.
Oh, Jesus.
So somebody pissed in the pool. So what? I was like, okay, is there pee in the dating pool? Well, yeah, it could be some pee in the dating pool. It absolutely could be some pee in the dating pool. Because you have people that don't know how to find the right pool. Maybe that pool that you're in is the pool where people pee. I mean, you got all kinds of things going on. You got
there are you
got what's the hashtag for Dubai? It's like Dubai porta potty. We got it, Angelo. I know we do because Angelo is a great engineer. We're going to talk about all the things that are going on in the dating world that are creating situations for people to feel like it's pee in the dating pool. I didn't start off this thing we talk about politics, we talk about pop culture, we talk about everything, but y'all keep pulling me back into dating. And I'm not saying that I'm a dating guru. I'm simply saying that I think I'm really honest about how I feel and what's going on with me. And, if it's jacked up, I'm going to admit it. And I think that that's part of the problem. So maybe some of the pee is just people just not being honest with themselves and lying to themselves and lying to others and lying. And so I think,
really pissing in the pool.
Or, and some people peeing in the pool. Because some of y'all like to be peed on.
Oh.
So some of y'all in the wrong pool because this pool that you're looking in, this particular quote unquote watering hole is the watering hole for the peers or the poopers or the swingers or the girls that do some strange things for some change. Maybe you're in the wrong pool. It's quite possible you're just swimming in the wrong pool. And so because of that, being in the wrong pool, you very well may be looking in the wrong direction. So we want to talk about that. I want to help direct you and help you find the right pool so that the dating pool will be your dating pool. You'll know how to find your dating pool. Here is my question that I'm going to pose because we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Britteny Griner. There's a lot going on, but I want to talk about the fact that people are out here making decisions, women in particular, but some men are doing it well.
Decisions. I didn't say they were all right though.
So some of the things that is going on is
find me a pool.
Okay. Somebody said find me a pool. Okay, so on Instagram. So let me say this: we are on Twitter, we are on TikTok. My little clips on TikTok. Thank y'all for showing me the kind of love.
We are on TikTok.
Showing me the kind of love that y'all showing me. Shout out. I can't do this. I have to do this right now to the marketing team. Sorokaya and Simona, they are great. But so we are on TikTok. You can catch my little clips on TikTok. We are on Twitter for the whole show. We're on Instagram for the whole show. We're on YouTube for the whole show. I'm leaving somebody out. And we're on IG. We're on IG for the whole show. So you can catch all of this marvelousness on and on YouTube. I really want y'all to go to YouTube. The big bucks. So listen, here's what's happening. some of you all are swimming in the wrong pools, and you have decided the pool that you need to be in is based on the man. But some men do this now. The man's criteria, you know, like his work criteria. So you're saying, I'll push y'all back a little bit. There we go. So we're saying that, you know, you want somebody that's, you know, well, are we talking about blue collar or white collar? You know, when you start to look for a man and you say, because you know the big thing is now I want 6 figures. So are we talking about blue collar or are we talking about white collar guys?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I mean, you can be a blue collar guy and still make 6 figures.
So this is what I want. Thank you for saying that, Lola. Because here's what I want to say. You know, I have a lot of guy friends. You know, growing up in Dallas and Oak Cliff, you know, you get to be friends. And I'm not saying that Dallas is unique to other places, but I'm starting to learn the way we hang out, the fact that we, you know, you went to 7th grade with him, and every now and then y'all just catch up. How's the family? And you go to happy hour. That's a little different. I'm learning that that's a little different. I had somebody have a very candid conversation with me that explained that's different. So with that, you know, I think that when we start to talk about what our life goals are and what we want out of life, I think the end goal, Lola, for everybody is to have, you know, some financial stability, to not be living check to check. And so
right, nobody wants to, as a woman, I don't want to have to move in with my parents because my husband or my maid has decided to spend all of our money at Magic City doing, you know, the plays. I'm not.
Shout out to the bros with the COVID.
Yeah, so we have to be clear. I mean, and I say that to say, this is many years ago. I went on a date with a guy. He had a friend who was having a birthday party, and they actually, you know, were playing on the same team. And I will never forget sitting in that party with all that money being thrown and coming down out of the sky of the club, thinking this is not going to work, because I'm not going to have to go to my dad and say, we have got to stay with you all because this fool spent our mortgage on Mercedes at Magic City.
Mercedes.
Sure.
Mercedes. Okay.
I just didn't, he didn't spend it on a Mercedes. He spent it on.
Let's be clear.
He spent it on Mercedes.
Who was dropping it low and spreading it wide.
That does not come home and deal with none of his shit.
Right.
So
he not Putin on her night.
So I think I definitely feel like, because I'm intentionally dating, that you have to be very clear on the pool you want to swim in and who you want to swim in your pool. Just because a man can have a lot of money, but I promise you, if it is all coming down out of the sky at King of Diamonds in Miami,
or if he's just a poor money manager. I mean, listen, women. So I want to address this. There are a lot of women that are saying, "I don't need a man," and then you wonder why you can't find one. Well, you've already told the universe that you don't need him, so the universe is not going to bring him to you. I've had somebody say, "Cool, why do you say the universe? Why do you don't say God?" Well, because there are some people that watch this show that don't believe in the same God that I believe in. I believe in the Most High God who sacrificed His Son, Yeshua, for my salvation. Now, so those people are not going to hear me, but they believe in energy and spiritualism, and you know, because we all screwed up now since we came from the land of Kush, and so
you got too many degrees, and now you are dumb as hell.
Right. So with that being said, that was kind of cute. So with that being said, I do believe that the universe delivers. You speak it out, and then it comes back to you. So with that being said, I think a lot of times people make decisions based on, you know, erroneous criteria. So since you are out here and you're saying, I want a man that makes 6 figures, but you have decided that he's the guy that has to wear, you know, his work uniform, which is a suit and a briefcase. But there are guys out here that are doing a whole lot of things that did not graduate from college, and some never even went. So you're passing by some good guys, and so my thing is, maybe you the one peeing in the pool.
And let me say this: my mother has not just a bachelor's, but a master's degree in music education. My father, I mean, he got out of school, Grace and Mercy. and he passed it along. He passed those same values down to me. I got out of school, grace and mercy. But my mother said she married my dad because she said at the end of the day, she knew he knew how to hustle. Now, meaning even if that you're broke, he gonna figure out a way to feed you. Even if the lights are off. And I think when I was like 5, he went out of town and, I don't know, forgot to pay the light bill. My mama didn't yell, she didn't cuss, she didn't fuss. We went over my godmother's. He came home, he paid the light bill, and everything was good. And her attitude was, he said he was the man of the house. He said he was gonna pay the bills, and she let him do that. So when you're saying you want someone with money, so are you saying you want someone with money, or are you saying you want someone who is responsible and capable of being a good provider?
So that's the difference. So when they're they very well could be, because a lot of women are. I've had some really candid conversations with some people over the last several weeks, and they're confiding in me about what they're looking for. So this did not start out as a dating show, and I hope we get back to all of the stuff that we
still include policies.
But the thing,
Britteny Griner,
but free Britteny Griner. So the thing is, for me, it is, what is it that when you say you want him to make 6 figures, is it dressed up in a suit and a briefcase? And if that's what you're looking for and you haven't found it, then maybe you're swimming in the wrong pool. So I want to educate some sisters out here. And some brothers, listen, if a little bit of this gravy run on your plate, then that's gravy, baby. So here's what I want you to keep in mind. There are men out here that have, I don't know, worked for the city, the city of Wyoming or the city of Houston, and they have their own business. Now, I can tell you, the city of Dallas, every one of those guys, if it's HVAC, if it's plumbing, if it's electricity, if he's an electrician, if he's the, parts and recs. Those dudes are landscapers. So you say, oh, well, he's dirty. He works outside with his hands. You know how much people pay? He
don't mind getting gutter.
Then, you know how much people pay for landscaping?
I'm okay with it.
Let me tell you, I personally have spent about $4,000 on landscaping, and we're not done. My landscaper called me today. So don't get it twisted what that means, because the guys that I know that are considered blue collar, every one of them that works for the city of Dallas, somebody said go to me, so works for the city of Dallas, they all have their own businesses. One of my good friends is retiring. He's using up all his sick time, and he is working his business, but he's been building this business for the past 10 or 15 years. He recently bought some land. So, you say, oh, well, he just bought some land. No, he's got a plan. He's going to put some tiny houses on. Like, this man has got a plan. He's cleared it. He's going to let people hunt on it. He said he's got timber on the land. If you don't know anything about Tennessee, I'm a city girl, but I got country roots. And I can tell you, timber on the land can be anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 at one time. So you misunderstand when you say 6 figure. A lot of times when you're saying 6 figure, you mean a corporate job. Let me tell you something about a corporate brother. I'm not saying this for all corporate brothers. Y'all about to jump on me. I'm not saying this for all corporate brothers. I'm saying this for some. If something happens to that job, they're lost. Because all they've been taught to do is go to school, get educated, and get a job. So when they age out, and they're gonna bring in somebody new and pay them less money, they're lost. When the company goes upside down, they're lost. We've seen a lot of people during the recession that got on up out of here by their own hand because they were lost. So you want somebody who's financially stable, and you want somebody who can, should the need arise, rise to the occasion, whatever that occasion is. What if you lose your job? Y'all a 2-income grouping, because everybody not married, everybody don't believe in marriage. I mean, I can dig it. So what if you just a 2-income couple? You lose your job. Is he asking you to go to Sprouts and sack groceries? So understand what you're asking for, because that's really loaded when you say you want somebody to make 6 figures. I've said time and time again, he make $100,000 a year and he got 2 kids. He ain't got but $34,000 because those kids got 33, and people laughed at that. But I was being honest, because 6 figures, high 6 figures, or just $100,000. Because the person who says I want somebody to make 6 figures, they don't make 6 figures. Because the people who make 6 figures know what that means. So they're speaking another language. They're swimming in another pool. We're gonna take a quick break. I hold your thought, Lola. We're gonna take a quick break. This is called with the Black Tea Sip. Stay with me, because we're gonna unpack some things for some of y'all that's out there in the dating pool and saying that it's pee in it. It's not. Are you peeing?
I'm not peeing in the pool, and I don't want nobody peeing in my pool.
In a minute.
Nourished skin is healthy skin. Simply Ardor skincare products provides luxurious nourishment for your body. Indulge in rich scrubs and body butters, and top it off with our sensational and unique aromatic lines of sprays and roll-on fragrances. It's simple and lovely. Simply Ardor. Love is real. Just spread it.
Louis on my eyes, you got them days. Took you a whole year to bounce back. Took me a couple days. You hitting licks, I'm getting rich. I'm hitting C-notes. Watch what you say, I got a pick. I can show you what he know. He can do tricks, he with the shit. Do what I tell him to. If he get at you, I plead the fifth. I didn't tell him to. I hit the block was hot. I had to drop the top. Remember the name, never forget the face. I'm coming back. Won't now, go get your phone now. Yeah. Won't now, go get your phone now. You should've watched me shine. Look like I hit the lotto. I be on my grind. Bitches think I hit the lotto. You should've watched me shine. Look like I hit the lotto. Bitches think I'm lying. Nah, I ain't hit the lotto. Oh, now, go get your phone now. Cause I'm in a zone now. This is my town. Turn off the lights now. Cause I'm shutting shit down. Sending shots to all my haters. No, I don't promote violence. Where is the waiter? Sign autographs later. Then I gotta go. Sign autograph on the back of my check. Minding my business. Yeah, that's a bet. Baby, my entourage ready to flex. Pop rubber bands. See, we neck to neck. Running the race. I got his next. How does it taste? Pick up the pace. I'm on a new page. My honey's fresh. Like they just came out of a suitcase. Whoa, now. Go get your phone now. Go get your phone. Whoa, now. Go get your phone now. You should've watched me shine. Look like I hit the lotto. I be on my grind. Bitches think I hit the lotto. You should've watched me shine. Look like I hit the lotto. Bitches think I'm lying. I ain't hit the lotto.
All right, and we're back. This is Corey, the Black Tea Sip, and Lola of Lola's Love Life on the Black Tea Sip.
Hi, guys.
And so we're talking about, because someone asked me if there was pee in the dating pool. I was like, wow. So so people going around there peeing.
So, okay, so are we saying that, is there pee, like, we're not talking about literal pee, right? I would hope that we are adults and we can get out the pool and go to the bathroom. So is pee...
Some people, you know, it's the water's warm. And, you know, at this age, people be having a little bit of incontinence, and so they T10.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think you should be in anybody's pool who comfortably is pissing in it. Like, physically allowing their waste to surround you in water.
I'm just saying, it's pee in the dating pool.
Pee in the dating pool.
So the reason they said it was pee in the dating pool is because they can't find anybody.
Okay. Well, hey, you know, it's a process. Like you said, you know, what kind of 6-figure man do we want?
So I want to help people unpack what it is they're looking for, because I think that's part of the problem.
So do you think that people are narrow-minded and thinking like 6 figures is in high-rise building with a suitcase.
Yes, and I'm not pulling on.
Drug dealers make more than six figures.
No. Good drug dealers.
Good drug dealers.
Standing out there.
I'm not talking about the corner boys.
Yeah,
I want the kingpin. So, and they may not wear a suit.
But he's going to need all that money to stay out of the penitentiary. So,
and I'm going to tell it. So I ain't the one. Don't swim in my pool.
So, but you got to know how to back them out of your pool, and you have to know what you're looking for, so you know what pool that you need to be swimming in. And I think that's part of the problem. So I hear so often there's no men in Dallas. There's no good men in Dallas, and I'm like, no.
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't agree.
And look, this is the age. If you're somewhere between 45 and 55, they all getting divorced. They all starting over, child. Their kids are graduating from high school and going to college, graduating from college, and they pawpaws, and they just don't want to be with her anymore, unfortunately. So this is the age, that you could find somebody. Mm-hmm. And guys are really looking for somebody, and the guys are just as disgruntled as the women are.
Are they?
They are. Because I talked to my homeboys.
Okay.
And they are disgruntled. Okay, so let's talk about why they're disgruntled. Angela, we have a clip about Dubai. I want to say this because I got a lot of flack about saying that men over the age of 40 that are dating women that could be their daughters, they have some deficiencies and something is going on with them. And I caught a lot of flack. I even had some phone calls about it.
Oh, wow.
A couple of people told me there's nothing wrong with them, and they date somebody that's 27 years old, and it shows that what kind of stamina they have, and blah, blah, blah. And I said,
a blue pill.
And I said, that little girl gonna give you monkeypox. But aside from that, there are some things going on. So what I am hearing is that they're looking for someone that doesn't come with all the baggage of a 50-year-old. I will address that baggage. I'm not sure I know exactly what that is. But I want to talk about the fact that there are so many young women out here that are living the Instagram dream, that some of these dudes have no idea. They think she's self-made. Oh, this chick's got it. Since y'all came for me, roll it, Angelo.
Well, you see all these little chicks, even around here, you see all these little fucking Instagram chicks from fucking Nuremberg or wherever the fuck in Dubai by theyself and ain't posted nobody else with them. They over there getting shit on, nigga.
I've got paid to eat and I have $1 million liquid dollars in my bank account.
You know that?
Wow.
Them sheiks, they be flying these chicks out, paying for everything just so they can get shit on and pissed on.
And I will receive $25,000 2 weeks before I come to Dubai.
And they know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I'm just in Dubai getting fucked up, having a good time. No, you're not. You getting shit upon. For sure.
I want to say pay.
At the least $100,000.
Did you let somebody shit on you, buddy?
Okay, so that was another podcast, but I wanted to use it because I wanted to also show the man's perspective on it. You've got these young girls. These men are chasing these little young girls, and the little girl, she got a great big Louis Vuitton Never Full, and she driving a whip. These people are doing whatever they can to make money. And this is part of the dating pool.
Okay, wait. Let me. Shitted on. This one
Shit
said,
upon. Pooed on.
That's waste. Like, you value yourself enough to have someone spill their waste from their body.
So let me paint a picture for you.
On you.
So this girl meets this guy. This is true. I mean, you can. It's a Twitter thread, but she meets this guy, and she wants to know why he never really tries to be intimate with her. So he kind of woos her, in a sense, over a period of a couple of weeks. It's not a really long courtship or anything. And he decides he wants to fly her to the United Emirates. I can't swear it was Dubai, but somewhere in the United Emirates. To that end, she gets there, and there are other beautiful women and a lot of different kind of looking men. Now, you have to understand some of these men are not attractive, fat, funny looking, bloated,
bald
headed, and there's nothing wrong with a bald headed. Wait. There's nothing wrong with a bald headed black man.
Oh no. I'm thinking about an old dirty. But I mean, I like a bald head. I don't want the brothers to get mad. I don't want the brothers to get mad. We talking about where you still saving on Grace and Mercy. You got 2 strands on the left hand side, and you keep telling your barber you want to keep that because it's all grown. It's not growing back.
Right. That part.
Mm-hmm. So, let it go and let God.
So the thing that she realizes is that the men, over the couple of days that they were there, the men weren't really eating a lot. They just kept drinking a lot of coffee. And so the night of the quote unquote event, everybody's eating, and she said the food was so good. It was the most that most luxurious meal she's ever had. It was just decadent, I guess is a better word. And she talked about how she noticed that the men were eating now. They weren't just, and then, they went out and they had desserts, and the men stepped out and they started drinking their coffees again. And then they brought them all to the front to this formal, like a ballroom, and they put buckets down. The staff put buckets down. And the men began to defecate. And over the course of the night, they had to eat it, they had to screw in it, and they were covered in it. Now, they explained what was going to happen. You could leave. This is all true. I'm not making this up. This is not a coyism. This is not something that I made up and I said, what if? This is not hypothetical. This actually happened. You just heard that girl say, I have $1 million liquid dollars because I eat poop. And so if you wanted to leave, you could in fact leave, but you would not get your 50 grand. And if you left, you kind of had to make your own provisions out of the desert to go where you were going. But you could in fact leave. But if you stayed, you had to participate in every way to make your money and to get yourself home.
I don't want to play.
Now,
Tap me out.
They were going to allow them to leave and go home. They weren't holding them hostage.
No, so this is all consensual. And I think this is consensual. So it's all consensual. Now listen, I feel like we all, I don't know if we can curse on here. We'll find out.
We've been cursing. I mean, shit is not a Christian word.
So
it's not in the Bible.
I will say this. I feel like our 9 to 5s, we get shitted on figuratively, for money to pay.
Yeah, sometimes.
But to literally shit on me, that's where I draw the line.
That's it.
I cannot. I mean, and the thing, there's so many psychological things going on in just doing this, right? So like they have to eat it, they have to have sex, and these are control. Like this is like the most
completely dehumanize.
Dehumanize. Like they will pay you to make you feel because
this is their fantasy. So let's be real clear about the man.
But that's a crazy thing. In for a man to want to break all of you down, humanly possible.
But I think you're taking it further than they just want to know what it is they can do. Like what would be the breaking point? Like what's the envelope? How far can I push it? Because and I mean, let's deal with the sickness of the man, because it is definitely there. Because why would you even want? The women would poop in, the men would just poop. They want, and they enjoy the idea of having sex in the poop. So the men were just as disgusting as the women.
Right. So and that's my whole thing. So the men, it's a control thing to me.
No, I think you're right. I'm not disagreeing.
And dehumanizing anyone to make yourself feel good, like that's satisfying to break someone down.
But that's what control and domestic abuse, right? That's what it's about.
And then a woman, okay, with being
she wants the bread.
Yeah, because once the money is spent,
well, you can be like, oh girl, and brag about having $1 million liquid. Again, but she don't need that for her intestines because they're gonna rot out.
You have to look in the mirror when this is all over.
Which brings me to my point. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Lola. See how great she is as a co-host. So, which brings me to my point about peeing the dating pool. Mm-hmm. This is what is happening. You have people that are willing to do anything. When I said strange thing for some change, I had no idea how strange could be. So you have people out here, which is what some of these women are saying, and some men, as far as P being the dating pool, that will do anything for some money. In as much as they will do anything for some money, how is it that you separate those kinds of people from the kind of people that you want to date and entertain? And so with that, the question becomes, what is it that I'm dealing with, and how can I get rid of it? How do I alleviate that kind of thing? Well, the men that are dating these young women, they're going to say to me, well, I don't date those kind of women. You don't know that. You don't know that at all. And I'm just going to say one word parenthetically, monkeypox. So you don't know honestly what you're getting. So here's the thing. I want to get here. Creflo Dollar recently told people you need to ask a bunch of questions. And so see if you can find Creflo Dollar on dating and what you can ask. So he goes through a litany of questions.
Years ago. Mm-hmm.
That's not how you find out about a person. Okay. So now we have all of this Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, so you can research people that way. So people are online dating, and so the online dating gurus tell you what to do and what not to do. Here's the coyism for you. Listen to the conversation and what they are willing to tell you. If they talk too much about themselves and they're telling you how great they are, then there's probably a red flag there, because if they were so fantastic, they wouldn't be so dating so heavily. So they're telling you, oh, I'm dating this person, and and I'm so glad you had time, because and they're building themselves up, and so then that becomes a person that you probably don't want to talk to, because they're building themselves up, and it's a facade, right? You want to be able to see through the facade. You want to make sure that the person is genuine. Now you're gonna meet their representative, but is their representative believable? So when the mask is off, is this a real person? Well, here's some things that you need to ask yourself. Does this person that I'm sitting across the table with, drinks or dinner or whatever, do they keep me entertained, right? Is the conversation one-sided, where they're only talking about themselves? Because that's usually a facade, it's a mask. Do they ask you things about yourself? Is the conversation waning? Is that person talking too much, too long? Do they not allow you to have a word, or are they saying absolutely nothing? So these are the things that you need to ask yourself, and then don't berate them with a bunch of questions. You can ask questions like, where do they work, and how long have they been there, and do they enjoy their work? But I would ask them what they do first before you ask them where they work. Because asking someone where they work suggests that you're trying to figure out how much money they make. So if they say they're an engineer, and you say, where do you work, or what kind of engineer are you? And they say, oh, I'm a mechanical engineer or electrical engineer. You say, oh, where do you work? And then they say, XYZ company, Raytheon, for instance. If you don't know anyone at Raytheon, stop the conversation right there. They've given you enough information.
I agree. Don't try to.
And so how long have you been at Raytheon? Oh, I've been there 15 years. And so are you a manager? That's a little rough, right? So then that person assumes that you're a gold digger. That doesn't mean you are, but then they start thinking to themselves, you're asking too many questions about that you're trying to drive to the money. Now, it's okay to try to make a decision about what kind of money they make, but, most of the people are looking at his watch, his shoes, and the kind of car he drives. I'm going to say this. I like to ride well. I do. However, a guy that's, look, I don't like grown men that wear J's. That bothers me.
I don't mind it.
I don't really like that. I mean, it's cool that that's your thing, but the J's and the skinny jeans and you 54, that's bothersome to me.
I mean, I don't want you wearing J's, skinny jeans, and you look.
And a Versace shirt. I'm talking about guys that are fit.
Yeah, and
they're fit. But I'm just saying, J's, skinny jeans, Versace shirt. You pushing this kind of whip. You're drawing in a certain kind of person, because grown people know that's not how you spend your money. Grown people know your money should be in the bank. So, you know, or under a mattress or whatever.
Because maybe they're sneakerhead.
Well, you know what? I don't have a problem with a sneakerhead. My child's a sneakerhead, and I didn't buy his first pair of Jordans till he was 12 because I am against Jordan. I think Michael is a trash human, and he represents the armpit of society as far as socialization is concerned. I don't like Michael Jordan. But what I really don't like is the fact that black people will stand outside and they will wait in line and for 7 or 8 or 10 or 12 hours to buy some shoes when their child doesn't know their ABCs. I have a problem with that.
Well, Jay's
represents the social ills of our community because Michael Jordan is a leech. And he came along and he pushed out something that black folks gravitated to because he's supposed to be at one time the greatest of all time, the GOAT. I think LeBron sat him down. LeBron sat him down.
When you win a championship by yourself, you're the GOAT.
But LeBron is
Shout out to the Cavaliers when LeBron was there. They're welcome. Keep going.
Okay, she had to do that. That was her thing. So for me, LeBron is the GOAT because it's on and off the court.
Absolutely.
So he's the GOAT. Jordan is tragedy. He's just a tragedy. So with that, I don't like Jordans because I think Jordans represent social ills. But I'm conscious and I'm enlightened. I'm not just woke. I'm enlightened because, you know, I don't know who can stay woke. People got to go to sleep and get some rest. So I'm enlightened.
You'll be a walking dummy.
But that's what J's represent to me. So grown men who have 15, 20 pairs of J's, that's the wrong pool for me. Because it's representation of you not understanding where we are as a society and as a people and a community and the social ills thereof. So that's not for me, but that bothers me. And so, you know, but I'm gonna tell you something. The guys that I've gone out with that wear the J's and the Versace t-shirts and the jeans, you know, like remember a couple of years ago the guys were wearing like those motorcycle jeans, had all that the knee pads on the jeans and stuff with the zippers and shit. Okay, that. So, but I'm gonna tell you something else. The conversation across the table was representational of me not liking J's and grown men dressing like my sons. I went on a date with a guy a few years back, and when he walked in the door, I was like, dang, my son got them same jeans. So that was a turnoff to me. But I didn't continue to try to date him, Lola, because, you know, there's nobody else, and this guy is, at least he got some money, and, you know, he had all his teeth, and you know, he could enunciate. Like, I didn't continue to communicate with him. I think that is a problem. If the conversation is not going well at the table, if it's like pulling teeth from him to just find out simple things, then let him alone.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to continually have probing questions, he's not, well, one thing we do know is he's a bad communicator. He's never going to tell you what's going on because he can't keep a conversation going. So I definitely agree with that. I mean, I think also when you're dating, my dating experience here lately has been, when I think about what I want, in a life partner, a husband, I'm becoming more clear about what that looks like to me, right? So, and sometimes we don't think about that because we just don't know. So even with the J's, like I don't mind the J's because I mean, I work in an environment where men wear a lot of J's, so it don't bother me. And I think I probably have a pair or two. But I do feel like you should be able, like you should match your age. Like you should not be acting like you're 22 and you're 52.
Or dressing like you're 22.
Yeah, so those things, like you need to act your age, not your shoe size. Okay, friends.
So you need to know your non-negotiables. Look, if you want to know if it's pee in the pool and you're looking for a pool, here are your non-negotiables. You know, if he's a cat lover, you don't like cats. Like, I don't like cats. I don't want to be on no man hide. I think that's real feminine.
And I think he's weird. I mean, no offense to that. You know, it's a lot of offense. I am judgy. If there's a grown-ass man with a cat at the house and he tells us we have to go home because he forgot to take out the litter, I am not going. Yeah, I'm not.
That's your deal breaker. Okay, so, you know, if he's a smoker, listen, there's a lot of people that self-medicate. They wake and bake. You know, that's not my thing. If you tolerable that, maybe you're a waker and a baker too, then that's the pool you need to be swimming in.
Yeah,
but if it's not your thing, then don't decide he's a nice guy and I just wish he wouldn't do that and I'm gonna work on it, because he's a waker and a baker. Like that's his thing. So if he smokes cigars, now I know the end thing now is everybody smokes cigars. Women smoke cigars. I think it's disgusting, but if that's your thing, so be it. But don't. Okay, I'm gonna say something. I'm about to get in trouble. Brace yourself. Hold on, Lola. Let's hold on.
Everybody take a beat. And
if you do not smoke cigars, stop going to the cigar lounge to look for a man. You look thirsty and compromised. If you know, like my girl had she had a little happy hour out there. I was already in the neighborhood. I swung through. There were several other people there that weren't smoking, and they had a table, and so nobody was really smoking. A couple of the guys were. Nobody smoking, and it was at a smoking lounge, which I thought was weird, but that's where she had it because she smokes. I did go. I got there late, and I left. That's not my thing. That'll be the last time they see me in a very, very long time. If you're not a smoker, you should not be at the cigar lounge every weekend, ma'am. You look thirsty and compromised and desperate. So if you are a smoker and you enjoy going to the smoking lounge as a woman, going up there and smoking and trying to like be with the guys when they smoke because you want to entertain them because you're looking for somebody, you look desperate and thirsty. I'm just gonna tell you, I know y'all finna get mad, and watch, my DM about to blow up. I know 2 people about to reach out to me. I'm not gonna call y'all's name because I'm already in trouble. But it looks bad. And it's like a woman hanging out in a barbershop. Now you might get your hair cut. Maybe you like the way he faded back with your, you know, maybe you bring it back to Halle Berry. And maybe that's what you like, but you look desperate when you get your hair cut and then you sit in the chair and you try to entertain the conversation. Or you get in the conversation. This looks desperate, weird. Listen, that's just a little coyism. That's from me. That's your public service
I agree.
announcement.
If you're not, because here's the thing, you're gonna go and then you're gonna complain about the smoke, and you can't believe it there. And now,
I don't complain about the smoke.
No, not you.
But I'm saying I'm one of those people. I don't like the smoke. I don't like the smoke in my hair. Mm-hmm. I don't like how it smells. It stinks. And I'm going to say that I'm getting in trouble again. Kissing someone who is a smoker tastes like licking an ashtray. You do what you want to with that, ladies and gentlemen, ma'ams and sirs. You do what you want to with that. I'm just saying, a Tic Tac ain't gonna help. You better do a full brush, teeth brush, and Listerine in the parking lot.
Cigar bars never have food, so that's why I don't really go to them. So.
Yes, you do have to eat.
Yes, I need to eat. I can't,
So there's that. Like when you want to know what pool, and you say, well, it's men there, I smoke, so that's a pool. But how many of y'all don't really got lucky at the cigar bar?
Well, I mean, and when the last time I went, I think everybody was married.
Well, that was
it was kind of like that was their married men outing, or this is where they meet up.
And that's how you get caught up in a entanglement.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't think.
I mean, so my friend said, I can't see their name. So she said, somebody on Instagram said she stayed at the barbershop drinking and talking. Well, bump. Because that's not a good look. Was it a party at the barbershop? Were they celebrating something, or you was just up in there? That's not a good look.
I don't like sitting at the salon. I definitely don't want to sit at a barbershop. Like, just to see the men and talk. I don't like. And to me, it does, like you said, what makes it appear thirsty is because you have all day to sit here. Like, you don't have nothing
and you're
else
trying to
do.
listen. Now I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna set us back about 15 years. You trying to get in the man's conversation. You probably have something to add. I mean, when I take my children to the barbershop, then they would but it's my homeboy's barbershop, and we've been friends, and I'm friends with his wife. I went to college with his wife and went to high school with him. And so every now and then they'll say, which thing? I don't really say much. And if I'm talking directly to him. Now, if somebody else in the barbershop gets in the conversation, that's fine. But I'm talking to him. I'm not talking to the barbershop. And if they have a conversation, when I get there, I don't say a word, because I'm not trying to be a part of their conversation. Now, somebody's going to say, well, why not? And that's, women empowerment and women's because I don't want anybody to think that I'm at this barbershop trying to win. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not a pool for you to swim in. You want to know why it's complicated? It's because you picking the wrong watering holes. We're gonna take a break. This is called the Black Tea Sip. We gotta pay some bills, and we're gonna come right back and sum this up. We want to talk about Britteny Griner, and
we can't pay no bills sitting at a barbershop if we're not cutting the hair. Okay, got.
And if you ain't picking up the money, I'm just saying.
That part, yeah. Like if you not the landlord,
right? Or you provide security.
Are we security? I'm not fighting.
Hi, Amy Manuel here, proud Texas liberal and host of Political Musings every Monday at noon on Fishbowl Radio. Each week, we explore politics through the lens of music and pop culture on themes that vary from science fiction to wages to civil rights to women's rights, and sometimes just one artist like Elvis or Eartha Kitt. We'll meet activists and candidates and some folks that lived the history that some of us only read about. Join in each Monday at noon
on FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Podcasters, the name of the game is to get more visibility for your podcast so you can gain more credibility with your audience, thus more profitability. If you're ready to start syndicating your podcast and massively grow your audience and influence, then contact Fishbowl Radio Network today at 817-633-4880. Fishbowl Radio Network is one of the largest streaming platforms in the world, and now your podcast can be heard all over the world by the listening audience that Fishbowl Radio Network has amassed over the last 11 years. With over 6 million impressions a month and growing, this is a platform that all podcasters should be on to create greater visibility for their podcast. Jump in today and be a part of the Fishbowl family, streaming great live internet radio shows and podcasts 24/7. 817-633-4880. Jump in.
Hi, this is Diane Marion Eunice, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. For the past 9 years, I have worked with over 300 couples in the areas of sexual health, communication, and conflict resolution. If you are interested in rebuilding connection and intimacy with your partner, please contact me today. I can be reached at 682-201-8175, or you can email me at diane@letstalkrelationships.org, or visit my website at www.letstalkrelationships.org. And remember, you can't heal if you refuse to deal.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth.
Step out of the car, please.
I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job. Done.
Tell me why. Why can't we live together? Tell me why. Why can't we live together? Everybody wants to live together. Why can't we live together?
Hello, all you melanated beauties, sun-kissed by God's lips. This is Coy with your black tea sip. I'm sipping power to pour you the truth. Go grab your cup. Let's fill it up.
All right, and we're back. This is Corey with Black Teeth and Lola, lovely Lola of Lola's Love Life.
Hello.
And we are talking about if there's pee in the dating pool. And so I asked the question: blue collar, white collar. What kind of what's the
no
pool
collar?
What pool are you swimming in? We want to have at least
a collar.
So if there's pee in the dating pool, you got to ask yourself, what pool are you in? And so here's the deal with that. I think that people need to ask themselves more questions than they're asking the other person. What is it that you're looking for? And we discussed about all of the things that people say. You know, I want him to be 6 feet tall, 6'2", and dark skin.
Y'all know she's throwing shade at me, but it's okay. Sticks and stones. Keep going.
Only a hit dog will holler. If you got a pack of dogs and you throw a rock into that pack, the one that got hit is the one that's gonna holler. The rest of them just looking around like, what happened? And so she didn't have to say nothing. Y'all would have never known had she not parted her lips. But to her point, she has been one of those people that's said that, and I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? Because I don't understand. I'm 5'4". Now, let me say this to you ladies. If you're 5'4", or 5'5". There was a whole Twitter thing that said that a man who's over 6 feet tall that wants the woman that is average height, because 5'4", 5'5" is average height, then they might as well be pedophiles because they said we were like little babies. And really, the truth was that the reality is that he doesn't want her to be able to fit his bathrobe and his house shoes. I mean, because you know when they tall like that, they got big feet. They were 10s, 11s. But never mind. I've digressed. So. Here is my take on it. If you are 5'4", then you really don't need a man that's 6'2". Cause look, I'm 5'4". At 6'1", flat-footed with flats on, it is difficult to get a kiss. Your neck hurts. He's got to bend down low. You know, now I typically wear heels. I mean, COVID kind of put a damper on that because then we got out of the habit. And then you were like, well, I got cute flats and my feet are cute. Because I wear a 6.5. I have a small foot to fit my small body. I got cute feet. So for me, you know, it can be. So if he's like somebody told me she was like 5'6" and she wants somebody 6'5". Why? Y'all not even measuring up right. Like, you're not going. So on The Pivot, which is your show. They had a whole conversation
about the torso.
About the torso and how you could be in, I'm not going to say the word because, you know, there are some people that watch this show that I want to be respectful of. So when you line up in different directions, they use Shaq as an example. He can't get that done. That particular act can't happen because you don't line up right.
69 is a no-go.
So Lola said it, I did not. So this is a preacher's daughter. And so with that being said, you know, you're not gonna line up right. You know, and so there are certain activities and actions that Shaq cannot participate in because he can't line up. Because he likes little women. Short women, not really little, you know. But he likes little women. And so they were saying
I guarantee we will improvise. Definitely will improvise. It will happen. Find a way or make a way.
What you gonna do? Detach your neck?
We will improvise.
I'm just saying this is probably not gonna happen. So I mean, are you gonna like take your head off and then try to?
I mean, I'm saying okay. So maybe certain positions will be uncomfortable or
non-existent. They just really might not happen.
And that's fine.
That's another thing. When you're talking about your non-negotiables, you know, is that one of your non-negotiables? Like that's something you really enjoy, and he's too tall, and you're too short, so you can't.
If there's something you enjoy, and you know that's something, then height is probably, you know, you have a certain height. So
What's your height requirement?
You know what?
Don't tell the truth to these people. What's your height requirement?
You know, the desires of my heart is like 6'4".
She's a midget. Everywhere she go, it's a yellow brick road. Follow.
And I'm gonna be Dorothy skipping right along.
She's gonna have to multiply,
him.
divide,
It
carry
don't even
one.
matter.
It's not gonna add up. It's not happening. So there's no way. This is an unrealistic.
There's no way forward for the lining up. You know, hey.
Let me tell you something else that's gonna happen. I know we just kind of got gut up, but I feel like I need to say these things to these women out here that want these abnormally tall men. You know, let me say this to you. Let me tell you something else that's not gonna happen. When certain positions are being done, you're gonna be in his belly button. You want your face in his belly button?
Let me just say this. I know what I want because I have experienced what I
wish that people in radio land could see my face.
And it was wonderful. I don't ever recall my belly button being in
no,
the way of anything.
His belly button in your face.
Belly button, it was so good I couldn't tell you what it looked like. Don't even care. Yeah, I've not had any complaints. It is probably the best
and so you
dating experience
and so you attribute that to
ever had. He was 6'5". Yeah. Oh my God. When he picked me up with one arm, when he picked me up.
See, this is the problem. This is the dating problem. She is literally trying to find a man 6'5" so she can relive an experience, but it had nothing to do with the man himself, his personality.
I'm not.
It had to do with his height.
I don't want to. I'm not trying to relive an experience. No, that's not what I'm trying to do.
What you trying to do?
I'm saying that because of that experience, I would like someone 6'4", 6'5". I would like that. That's not a deal breaker though for me. If they come,
but I don't even understand why.
Because this is what I like.
Okay, but you're saying you liked it because of the pleasure that he provided, and you've attributed that to height.
But no, I'm not just attributing to height.
Help me, child. Somebody say them doggone PK kids. You sure right.
Sure
but go ahead,
right.
PK
hey,
kids.
Yes, we're here and we're ready for it. I really liked that. I mean, it was a sense of security. But what I am also saying is this: that's not a make or break for me. But if I can decide exactly from head to toe, physically, inwardly, and outward, that's what I like. And here's the thing, and you don't have to, because you ain't got to go home with it. And so for that's what I like. The majority of the guys that I've dated seriously have, been tall, and I've enjoyed them. Hey, how are you?
Hey, Bridget, are you listening to this foolishness? She wants somebody 6'5" so she can, because of experience.
Well, guess
it had nothing to do with the person. It's just his height.
No. I'm saying physically, I would like him 6'5". If he's an asshole, I don't want him just because he's 6'5". I don't care. I don't want that.
But you would take him if he's 5'2" and he was a great guy?
No, I don't want someone 5'2" because I'm not 5'2", and I don't want to have to put them in a high chair. I'm not doing it.
So here's the problem with dating. The problem with dating,
I don't want that experience
and looking at just the physical attributes.
And I don't think you should. I don't think you should just. You definitely shouldn't. But if you're saying if this is what I want, yes. But if this is not a deal breaker, like it's
okay,
not.
So what are your 3 deal breakers, Lola?
My deal breaker is religion. So I definitely have to date someone who practices the same religion as I do, and I'm a Christian.
Okay.
Even though you may not can tell sometimes, mind your business. I mind mine. And that values the black church and the black culture. So I'm big on that. I'm not dating someone who's so deep and so woke about other things that, I'm not going there. So that's one. Financial stability. Who's financially wise? That doesn't mean that, they're a millionaire or a billionaire, but the money that they have made, they be damned if somebody come in here and start spending it all up. I don't mind an allowance. I'm not the best with money. Hey, but if the lights are on and the mortgage is paid, I am here forward. Okay. And I will figure that part out. So that's 2. 3. I want to be well liked and adored. So someone who pursues me, someone who is, you know.
You want a stalker?
No, pursue doesn't mean like they are like blowing me up, but like they're taking the initiative. So I want someone who takes the initiative. That is something that I want. Also, I want someone who is self-confident. So that means that to me, even if they walk in the room, you feel their presence. Okay. It's not intimidating, but you know they here. They ain't got to say a whole lot. And when they do talk, they mean what they say. They say what they mean, and everybody knows.
So you
what
want
that
him
is.
to walk.
So I like balance.
Softly and carry a big stick.
I don't want him to speak softly.
No. Okay.
No, because just because you don't talk don't mean you speak softly. It just means that you're not one to talk.
So let me make sure I understand your deal breakers. You want, I mean, these are the top 3. You want him to be a money manager.
Well, one was that we both practice the same religion.
Okay, so you want him to be a money manager. You want him to have respect for the black church and the black culture and be a Christian. And the third one is you want him to be
self-confident, self-assured. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what does that have to do with height?
I'm just saying if I could get that at 6'5", I'm here for it. If I can't and I get it at 6 feet, I don't mind that either.
Oh, okay. So you don't mind. You don't
but
mind.
But if Jesus said, "Well, Lola, you can have it all," well then, damn it, put it in a 6'5". If I can have it all. If you were telling me I have to compromise,
look like his child, and
and that's fine. I tell you what, he won't call. He calling me baby for something else. No, I ain't never been pushed in the stroller. Now I've been picked up, and when my feet hurt and my heel, and I take my heels off, and he can put me on his back. I'm here for that too.
He could do that at 5'9".
Well, he can, but if I want him at 6'5", I can have him at 6'5".
I mean, I'm not a dream killer. I'm just simply saying some of these things are.
And I agree with you. It can come in at 5'9" or 6 feet, but if it can come at 6'5". And he looked like an offensive lineman.
Okay, so let me.
I'm here for it.
So the question is, if there's pee in the dating pool, and I believe he's gonna know how it ain't that. People, you know, these Instagram people are really raunchy. They are so.
Guess what? When you say baby, it ain't cause I need breast. I got enough breast. It ain't about breast milk. Okay.
See, she's cut all the way loose. We're never gonna do this show again. So here's the thing that I think is important. I think that people are choosing in the wrong pool because you're setting physical attributes instead of having personality attributes.
I agree with that.
And so I think that maybe there's pee in the dating pool. What did you want to say, Bridget? Because we brought you on Instagram.
Hi, Bridget. I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to, you know, it's me alone. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Actually, hello. I was enjoying your conversation. And you know, when I was young, I used to look at the physical attributes. So he needed to be tall. My husband is tall. You know, he needed to be tall. He needed to have this. He needed to have that. But you know, I've been married 29 years. This year will be 29 years. And the most important thing to me is those little things that my husband does. Like, he'll go, if you don't have any air in your tire, I'm going to put air in your tire.
Right.
Go fill the car up.
Right.
When I get home, he'll say, well, what do you want to eat? And he cooks. And he does all these little things for me that didn't really matter back then, but they matter now.
Right.
That he takes out the time for me, and he'll say, well, I saw this purse over here, it's pink, I know you love pink, and so I got you this purse. And sometimes it's not pretty, but he thinks that I'm gonna like it because it's pink, and most of the time I do.
It's because he's considerate.
Right.
He's considerate.
Yeah, he's considerate. I like all of those things that you said were deal breakers, because I believe that if you pray together, you stay together. You don't necessarily have to go to the same church, but you do need to pray together and have that solid foundation. I believe in that too. But I will say that, you know, as you go on, all of those other things that you were talking about, all those things are great.
Yeah.
Management is great. But just know as you continue to look, he may not have it all, but what he does need to have is potential. So he might be short, but he may do all those things.
He may be short, but he's tall when he stands on his money.
And that's fine. And again, I agree with that. To your point about, I had just made a post on TikTok that I'm not giving my goodies to anybody that I can't call to make sure I'm okay if I have a blowout. I'm not. So anybody that I will not be there for me.
Somebody on Instagram say if he go to a different church, I'm gonna have a different man. Oh Lord,
oh God.
The Instagram people are raunchy.
Oh well, so, but no. So I do agree. So I mean that's my thing. But physical attributes are not. That's not what I'm seeking, because I've dated guys that are like 5'9". I mean, I think I dated a guy that I may have been taller when I put on my heels, and it was
a yellow
cool.
brick road following him too.
But and it was fine. I didn't think anything. I never thought, man, if he was just a little bit taller. I never thought about any of that. I really enjoyed our time together. It expired, and God bless his ministry. But if you can completely have if I can completely have what I want, if the core of the man is packaged, this is what I'm saying I would like for it to be packaged in, but I'm open to it. And I mean, because I definitely am not a person at my age that is looking at somebody going, ooh, well, he don't drive a Range, so no. Because when I look at a Range now, I'm thinking the insurance is high. Is this leased? Them repairs is expensive.
I really want to talk about that because, there are so many things that are in our heads about dating and what we need to be looking for and how we find the mate. And you have a lot of women, I talk about this all the time when we talk about our societal ills. You have a lot of women that have been elevated above the man, right? In our family dynamics, in our community. I use Dallas County judicial justices, I should say, as the litmus test. We have so many black women that have been elevated to judge, starting as far back as like 2006. And you look across 2018, I helped sweep in a lot of those female judges that came in. There were no men. I think there's one black man that sits on the bench.
And nobody likes him.
Moye.
Nobody black for real.
Moye. I call his name.
I don't care.
So with that being said, you have women that are saying, he needs to make this, amount of money. My dad kept the same job for almost 42 years, and he had other side businesses. I'm sure on paper, my mama probably did make more money than him because she had a master's, but not in real life. So you need to be really careful about when you start to say he needs to make this amount of money, he needs to look like this, he needs to have a corporate job, because a lot of corporate job brothers only have a 401k, and when they got to pull out of that, he don't know what to do. So don't judge a man based on what you think society is telling you he should have. There are men that are out here that are making their way, doing all kinds of things. I have a homeboy that owns his own shop. He's been in the music business for over 20 years. You never know it to look at him, but he makes real money in the music business, and he develops young talent, he packages a deal, and then he sends it off, and he gets the distribution deal. Yeah, so but you wouldn't know it because he got this little regular shop over here, but that shop is making money with every insurance company. So, but he would not be the person that a girl would look at because he doesn't fit the model of the six figure. But the boy make well over six figures.
But that comes with experience and wisdom, because anyone going to a shop knows somebody owning it, and if he the owner of the shop and you still not looking at him, I mean, Houston, you got a real problem, because blue collar makes money. And they can make a heck of a lot more money, because a lot of corporate people live outside they mean,
and they're right there. If a lot of and there's nothing wrong with corporate men. I'm not saying that. I'm only speaking to the sisters who have decided they have to have a dude to carry a briefcase to work every day, and they are not looking at look. There are some truck drivers out there. Now, The truck driver ain't my thing. I ain't never met one I was really, really interested in, but do your thing. So, but these truck drivers, they own their own rig and they're buying other rigs and people are paying them to drive them. So don't misunderstand what the American dream means for these melanated people.
Right.
People are making money, they just not making it a corporate structure. And the dude that makes 6 figures, see, people have watched too many Tyler Perry movies. Y'all think he's in a corner office and his window is overlooking the skyline. That's not necessarily what's happening. You honestly think that he got this big, beautiful office. If he's 6 figures, a lot of times, he's in a cubicle. So don't misunderstand. There's nothing wrong with a cubicle. I was in a cubicle making 6 figures. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just wanting to paint the picture to people to stop deciding that this is the litmus test. So this is the linchpin. This, you pull that and everything falls apart. That is not how you pick a man. And I think that people are telling me, I have a very dear friend, she said she's been with this guy off and on, and she stays with him because somebody said truck drivers have families in every state.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They got 100 kids in 50 states. I don't know parts of it.
Look, we already talked about the pool.
I don't want to find out at the funeral.
It's all a matter of what you got going on.
No,
but there are so many women looking for men, and they're looking for a specific kind of man, and for bragging rights, I guess. But be very clear about what it is you're looking for. Are you looking for a man that's going to take care of you? Are you looking for a man that is going to understand your worth and your value as a woman, and he wants to do the things for you? I can't remember the last time I had to really see about my car. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I had to do that. If I needed tires, I didn't really realize I needed tires. He was like, you need some tires. We're supposed to be going to get something to eat. He drives into the discount tire. I'm like, what we doing? We're going to drop your car off. We'll catch an Uber or something, get us something to eat. While we're eating, they'll fix the car, because he's all about efficiency. That's his word.
But I think that also has a lot to do with how we're raised. Like, I was raised in a home where my parents were team players. Like, they hustled and grind together, and there was no anger, animosity, or resentment. Like, my dad said, hey, I want to start a church. My mom was just a teacher, so there was one income, and they held it down together.
But what about the women have not experienced that?
And this is where that comes in. So when you haven't been raised with a man around, I can't speak a whole lot on it, I think you have to really figure out what that looks like to you and why it looks like that to you, right? So, like, because if you're only watching TV, I have a client, he tells everyone he married his wife because when he was growing up, he watched Cosby Show, and she is an attorney. So he always said he was going to marry an attorney. Now, do I think he should have done that? Probably not. But that's what happened.
That's his 6'5".
And that's his 6'5".
That's his 6'5".
But he does not. But because there was no other structure in regards to his relationships with other women, because he was an only child.
And the person she's talking about is nuts.
No, not him. So, yeah, he doesn't know that. So he's now married to someone based on what he's seen criteria on TV. Yeah. And now he can't understand because you did not figure out, he didn't figure out how to have a relationship with a woman.
So
at all.
I'll go back to my original point.
I'll say this too. A lot of times the man is not as mature as the woman, and so he may be making only $80,000, $60,000, but with your influence,
right,
and your motivation and your spirit and cheerleading him on,
right,
he can make double that.
Right.
He just doesn't know how to do that on his own.
I agree with that.
A lot of times, get that man that you can cheer on and push him on forward, because when you believe in him,
he can do almost anything.
Yes.
Come on, Bridget.
Yes.
I just don't. I agree. Saying, I want a specific kind of man. Therefore, there are no men out here. I cannot find anybody, because you're overlooking the brothers that not only have potential, but are out here grinding. I'm not a firm believer in just potential. I mean, the ant had potential. He was gonna move that rubber tree plant. He had potential. I'm talking about the brother who's demonstrating potential, and with the right woman, He can have. I remember my line sister. She said her husband. She married the quintessential entrepreneur. She has 2 degrees, one of which is a master's. She quit her job because she said somebody got to run the business. And so they have, since she's done that, they have 3 more businesses. So she stepped in with her degree and how to run a business. Now, he was running businesses before her, but she took him to the next level. So I think too many times we don't. You need a woman that's going to support you and going to help you. Brothers, listen. If that woman is out there and she's not supporting you, she's not helping you, she's not helping you grow, she's not in this fight with you, then that's probably the wrong woman. The woman that's the succubus who's waiting on you to drop her off the big Louis Vuitton bag. She wants a never full, and she wants you to get her the Versace sandals, and she's spending up the money and she has nothing to contribute. That's probably not the woman for you. The man who's saying, you know, I wish I could, but, and he's already got a bunch of excuses, and you're the kind of woman that makes something, that's not the woman for you. Swimming in the wrong pool. Right. And I want to speak to the woman who has somebody but is not happy. I'm gonna say this because we got to get to other things. But if you are with someone, and you've been with, because I had one of our sorority sisters say that to me. She's been with him because he's comfortable. He's easy. She's familiar with him. They know each other's family, but she's not happy.
Okay.
I said.
What did you say?
Well, I told her she was bored.
Okay. I just wanted that.
I did tell her. I said, well, you're bored, and you're with him for comfort, but you're not getting the comfort. And so, if you are with someone, and they are not checking all of your boxes, then why are you with them? And I'm gonna say something that's gonna get me in a lot of trouble. If you are not married and this man is not giving you everything you need, then you need to add, you need to multiply instead of dividing. You need to add and not subtract. If you are with someone who is not giving you everything you need, if you meet someone, let me get this out. You meet someone, stop playing these games. Ladies, look, I got a lot of sorority sisters, I love them, but y'all play too many games. You need to be honest with yourself. This texting and calling thing, you know what, waiting 3 days, brother, don't wait no 3 days to call nobody. That, you know what, she waiting on you to call. By the 3rd day, she talking to somebody else. She met him in the grocery store parking lot. Don't do that. Don't wait 3 days. You like somebody, show them that you like them. It's nothing wrong with picking up the phone and saying, hey, how you doing? It's nothing wrong with that. But playing these games, that's why you're in a perpetual cycle of dating and you haven't found anyone, because you are doing all the little things. I am all for grandmama's rules. I get that. Grandmama said, you know, be pretty when he comes home. I get it. But you've been at work all day too. Maybe he need to gussy up for you and smell good and get out of his work clothes. So I'm not saying that you need to be the one that's waiting on him hand and foot. But I know this for a fact. Aesthetics means a lot. I'm going to say this. Some of y'all are in relationships and y'all are bored and there's no spark.
Yeah, look bored.
And y'all in 2 different rooms and y'all in you know, he's out with the fellas and you trying to go out with the girls and maybe y'all get together. Maybe when he comes home that night, you ought to just be completely naked in some 5-inch heels, put an apron on, but the backside will be showing frying some chicken. Maybe you need to do that. Maybe you need to stop saying, well, what he's not doing and what you're not getting, and maybe you need to do something to spice it up, because men really don't have a clue. They need us to guide them and tell them too many times. So if you're sitting there and you want to talk to him and he hasn't called, pick up the phone and call him. Now, if you don't get what you want, you can make a decision after that. But sitting around saying he ain't about nothing because he doesn't call every day. If you want to talk to him every day, then maybe he called you on Monday, you haven't heard from him on Tuesday, maybe you call him, because maybe he's trying not to be a bother. Maybe he's trying to make sure that, you know, you don't say, well, this dude called me too much. Because it's a lot of women out there that have no idea how to date and how to treat a man, and he is just trying to find his way too. I think it is completely unfair to put everything on the man and say that you're supposed to be chased and pursued, and you don't even let him know you want to be chased and pursued. That too is a language that has to be spoken. Right. And I think we're out here bashing black men in particular because we're saying there are no good men when there are no good deeds on either side. You wanted to say something?
I was going to say, I really love black men. I think there are phenomenal black men out there. I'm having a wonderful time dating all the black men, okay? Shameless plug. But I was going to say, in life, there are 2 types of people. assets and liabilities. And if you are looking for someone to be an asset in your life, you have got to know how you can contribute to their life as well. Like we can't just be like, he got to be this, this, and this, and we're not bringing, for lack of a better word, bringing anything to the table. For me, you know, in my dating space, I'm making sure that I am doing what I need to do for me to be a helpmate, to be a team player, to date someone, you know, exclusively and be present in the relationship, right? And supportive. And supportive. Because when you're present, then you'll know, you can listen and know what they need. You can be authentic in it. But when you're just looking for someone to mask or make you ignore something that you're not dealing with yourself, that's where all that other stuff comes out. And now you all are deflecting on each other. Now that is what I don't want no more.
You don't want the deflection?
I do not want the deflection.
I think you bring up a really good point about support, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're dating or you're in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
or if you're married.
Mm-hmm.
You know, men, historically, you know, your mama has done this and this and this for you.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still looking for that woman to lead.
Mm-hmm.
They're still looking for you to figure out what it is that we're going to do. I can tell you, if I don't say we're getting ready to go do this event or that event, my husband probably he can sit at home and chill and watch TV. He's good.
Mm-hmm.
He wants something to eat. He's good. But he has an agenda almost every weekend because of me.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't mind the agenda. He will go right on along and do whatever it is.
Right.
It could be the craziest thing. He'll go right on along and do it. But I say that because a lot of times people say, I have girlfriends who say, you know, my husband doesn't support me like your husband does. First of all, don't compare your husband and mine.
Right.
That part. That part.
And does he know how to support you?
Because the other thing is, are you telling him what you need?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be able to communicate. You gotta be able to tell him what it is you want him to do. And then set the agenda. Say, hey, well, tonight we're going here to eat with so-and-so. And he can say, oh, well, I don't feel like good. Maybe they got some good food. So let's just put on your shirt, let's go. But I like what you said about support. You know, you have to be able to support them back, and it has to be two-way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't always do things your way. You can't always do it their way, because if you make them the priority, guess what? That's the way that relationship's gonna go. I am the priority because I make myself the priority.
Right.
It's always been that way, and it's always gonna be that way. But there are times when I have to show him to lay my hat down and let him lead when he needs to lead. But I think it's very important to show support both ways so that you both get something out of the relationship.
And I would say for me, in dating, I have learned, because I'm a big dreamer, if you tell me you want to do something, I'd be like, let's go do it. You know, I ain't even ask you how we're going to get there. When we go, I don't ask no questions. I will figure it out, right? That could be not a good thing. But to that point, I've also learned that everybody doesn't want to be great, right? And that's not a bad thing.
That's right.
Meaning, you know, he may make 6 figures, but he really likes living in his grandmother's house that is paid for and driving this Ford. Then you or I have to decide if this is okay with me for the rest of my life. It's not a bad thing. Even though he's told me, you know, he always dreamed of being a pilot. So me getting the application and not getting it signed, this is not real. It's something he said.
But that's somebody that's trying to create something in the man. Like, you have an idea of what you want. Because that's more than just him saying, these are my desires. That is her saying, I want this for him so that I reap the benefits of it. And that's a totally different scenario. And there are those women as well. This is not me bashing women. I love black women. I love black people. And I don't believe that you can say you love black people and disrespect black women. I've said that time and time again. But black women, these black men are not always the problem. And it is to the point where I'm tired of hearing that, because we are bashing black men and we are not offering them the very thing we want them to give us. Black men also need stability. They also need support. They also need trust. they also need someone who's not going to necessarily always lie. So
security,
you know,
they
need to know that they can trust what you're saying, and that when you say, all right, here's the plan, that you're going to follow the plan and you're not going to deviate from the plan. And brothers, because I was married to one of them, we had a plan, then he would deviate from the plan. You can't stay married like that. If that's the plan. So if your plan is to meet her in your dating, is to meet her at Papa Do's at 7:30, why is she sitting there at 7:50 and you still haven't shown up? That's inconsistency. Do not be the inconsistent brother. But a woman should not be inconsistent. Look, I'm late all the time. I'm always late. Everybody know that about me. So they be like, "Call, I'll be there." I'm late. I got a lot of things happening in my life, you know, plus the dog. So I'm late. But if I am running behind and I'm meeting a man on a date, I'm going to call him and be like, listen, I'm running about 15 minutes. I try to do it before I think he's left the house to meet me so that he's just not sitting there looking like a dweeb. I actually do that. I'm like, hey, I'm running about, usually I'm 30 minutes behind. But I'm saying I'm running 30 minutes behind, which means if you leave your house, we're going to get there at the same time. Because, you know, I don't know, 7 o'clock didn't work for me, and I thought about saying 7:30, but I didn't say 7:30, and I wish I had said 7:30, because 7:30 is my time. That's kind of me if you said it at 7 o'clock. I know that about me. So instead of me just leaving him sitting there because he can wait, that's disrespectful. The timing is disrespectful. So I think there are a lot of women that want to be involved with a good man, but the good deeds are missing. And I want sisters to know that there are a lot of good men out there, but they may not all fit into this standard that you set as to what he looks like. He may not be he may wear squirrels to work. He might not wear a suit. He may be in a uniform because he works for the city. Because if all you're looking for is the 6 figures, that comes in all shapes and sizes. That doesn't just come with a suit and a briefcase. And I think we're missing a lot of good brothers because of that. I think if you're in a relationship and you are unhappy, I'm not telling anybody to leave their relationship. That's beyond the brevity and scope of my role. What I will tell you is if you're in a relationship and you're not happy and you're not married, you're just dating, then maybe you should add and not subtract. Maybe you need to get out there and see what else is out there.
Why you're not happy? Because even like people talk about online dating and how they get come across a lot of crazy people or freaks. I honestly haven't done that, but I have set the precedent and the mindset that a lot of that isn't, coming through my feed. Like if you're speaking negatively, if you're talking about what you don't want all the time, you're going to get that. You're going because that's all you're mentally focused on. And that is your expectation. If you're actually thinking, this is what I want, I'm open to how it comes, whatever I got to do, prepare me for for who I got to be and what I want, then I feel like, the journey is just a little more easy, or it can be easier than it being like draining and overwhelming. Because everybody, I tell my married friends all the time, hey, don't get a divorce, right? You figure that out. I'm just saying, it ain't that easy in these streets. But don't make it harder by being defeated already. And
I think I'm going to close this here. You need to be emotionally available. You got too many people walking around here that are walking wounded. You're upset because somebody did something a while back. You are holding on to past hurts, and you're carrying that in every relationship you go in the future, and you want to know why you're in a perpetual cycle of dating. It's you. Because you are still walking around here, you haven't released, you haven't forgiven, and you haven't let go. If that is what's happening, if you look up, and every time you going on a date, and you date a guy for 14 days or less, and it never goes beyond that time, and you're wondering what's going on, and why your dating life is not moving into the next phase, and you find yourself, you're annoyed because he didn't do this, or you're annoyed because you thought y'all were going to do one thing and it did something else, you need to ask yourself, man or woman, are you attributing this new person's behavior to past hurts? Because if that's the case, then your relationship is not going to move forward, and you are always going to be in a perpetual cycle of dating. All right, that's all I have on dating. We're going to come back and talk about Britteny Griner. Thank you, Bridget, for joining us. Love you much.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back soon.
I'll introduce you to my 6'5" husband.
Bye. He going to be 5.
Do you want to find a stable job in a growing field? IT jobs such as network systems administrators, cybersecurity, programming, cloud, and computer systems analysts are expected to increase 25% by 2022. Texas Premier Technology Institute offers training for top certifications such as CompTIA, Cisco, and Microsoft in less than 12 weeks. And if you're unemployed or underemployed, you may qualify for free tuition. Contact TPTI at 1-888-490-TPTI or check them out on the web at tpti.us.
Over a year ago, we gave you the marquee. Luther Vandross and his bros and queens. Abundantly satisfying, we did more than please. Made you party a bit and put your mind at ease. And then we spoke on everything else in between. We ain't come for the shine, but we left with the rated highly approved. Put you back in the mood. Gave it to DJs and put the needle to the groove. All star, all minus, all par. Booth the V, send Q, and we are loose cannons, no comparisons by far. We do what we do when we are who we are. Dope music, high jump, raise the bar. So soothing, we do what they are. The vision would seem like Stevie and Ray Charles. In the hazy room, fat sacks and fat gauze. Yeah.
Back to back nights partying. Only stop to pray and then we start again. Just live today and let the rest go. We already know the way, baby, let's roll. And get back to the groove.
All right, and we're back. This is Coy with the Black Tea Sip. If you just joined us, we've been talking about dating and what to do, what not to do, why to do. And so we're now talking about Britteny Griner. Listen, Britteny Griner may be coming home soon. The WNBA player that was taken into custody entering Russia because she had some cannabis vape pens. You know, my mother, who is over 80, said that she just do right, I think was her statement. You know that it's illegal. Why would you take it over there? And I said, because vaping helps people deal with a lot of different things. Pain is one. It's a pain manager. The cannabis, well, I'm not saying vape in particular, cannabis oil is a pain manager. It helps with people who don't eat. Cancer patients use it. It helps with autism. I mean, it is for medicinal purposes. Now, was she just wanting to go over there and be high? Maybe. I don't know Britteny Griner. But I do know that this is a woman that had to leave the United States and go play basketball in Russia to supplement her income because she doesn't make enough money. Right. So whereas the highest player in the NBA for men is $400 million, the highest paid women's basketball player is $230,000. Not $230 million, $230,000. So when we start to talk about why people do what, and I think we all sit in judgment in a sense because so many people have talked about Brittany and why she was over there in the first place. And,
yeah, I mean,
you know, and I said that, I was like, Lord, now that girl knows not to go to Russia.
I mean, I had an older friend say, why would she go over there anyway? And it's like, hey, she don't make enough money over here. She has to go over there to supplement her income. And then on top of that, I think the laws in Russia are very gray in regards to vaping and things of that nature. This is not her first time playing in Russia. She's a star player over in Russia. Like, this is not something
and she's recruited.
She was heavily recruited. They asked her to come and play for them, understanding who she was, and she plays for Phoenix.
And what she needed.
Yeah, and what she needed. And it's like, that's all null and void. And here's the reality of the situation. We all get away with a lot of things that are probably not morally right or legal, right? And so until life happens and now we're sitting in it, and that's another thing. It has never been a problem until a war broke out, and now she is being detained because of a war. I don't know what kind of message they're trying to prove or what they're trying to do.
But here's the other thing that I was one of them that said she didn't have any business over there, because Russia has a history of detaining Americans and charging them with espionage to say they're spies. I mean, this is not new. They do it to people from all over the world. So now we have Britteny Griner that would have been lost if the black community did not stand up and start screaming and shouting. I mean, we have Congress people that look like us that didn't move on it when everybody else in Congress was talking about it. So, I mean, the problem for me is we have not done enough as a community and as a society to say Brittney is one of us. Period. Because what we tend to do is we start to say, oh, well, that's them over there. Well, now, Britteny Griner is being, I think the way that they're doing is they're treating her like chattel, like merchandise. So they're now saying that Russia is willing to trade Britteny Griner and another American who was charged with espionage, and he's been there since 2017. That's a long time. They want to trade him for Victor Merchant of Death Bout. He is, in recent history, the most, I guess, egregious gun trader in the history of our world, aside from the Kennedys. And so, with that being said, we are looking at trading Britteny Griner and another American who literally was falsely detained for a man that we know committed war crimes. So we get Britteny Griner back, to what end? Because they need the Merchant of Death back in Russia because he's an arms dealer and they need guns for their continued war against Ukraine and whoever else they're going to try to overtake later. Mm-hmm. So this is a very strategic move for Russia to take him back. So, okay, you want Britteny Griner, you want your little WNBA player, and I'm not saying we should leave her over there, but look at what Russia is continuing to do. They are continuing to leverage America. And I think that what has happened with Trump the Rump is that we have allowed America to become so enthralled in Russian, letting Russia be enthralled, I guess is a better way to say it, in our politics, that they continue to win. You're saying, well, we win if we get our Americans back. Well, okay, but they win when they get their arms dealer back with all of his connections all over the world, and they continue to fund the armed services of this war, which really should be an illegal war. Because that's a sovereignty. Ukraine is its own sovereignty. You can't just go over there and take those people's stuff, and that's exactly what they did. This is like the Wild Wild West over there in Ukraine. So the idea that we are celebrating Britteny Griner, which I want her to be able to come home. I am nervous about what they're going to do to her. But I think we also have to ask ourselves at what cost. Because the more that Russia starts to improve with their military weaponry, what is it that ultimately will happen? Because Russia is considered a superpower, and so are we, and China is not going to be with us.
I agree. I'm listening to what you're saying, but I kind of feel like if they really, when they wanted to overthrow Ukraine and, do what they're doing there, they did it. Hands down, no questions asked. They already know that China, if it goes any further, that China's with them. And so getting this man out is definitely is an asset and access for Russia, but I don't think keeping him stops what could possibly happen. And so for me, I am with the trade. Is it a balanced trade or whatever? That's debatable, but I think that I would really like to see Britteny Griner, because she's part of, she's involved in something she had no idea she'd be involved in. She never thought, and I will say this, when it comes to professional athletes, agents need to tell the truth about where your client is going and what's really going on, and simplify the damn information, because they're focused on playing the game to produce championships, which produce checks from all over. At the end of the day, you cannot just say, hey, they're offering you $100,000, you pay over there 6 months, come back, play over here. No, tell them, now if you go over here, there is a chance that this, and this, and because you're black, this, and this will happen, or it is a huge possibility. Nobody's an exception to the rule. And I really feel like that is something we definitely have to take away from this situation.
I don't even think it's that. I think that there is a war that Russia has waged on a sovereignty, and it's basically an illegal war. Why agent got to tell you not to go over there?
No, if you're not in tune to those things, if you're not watching
that's the
CNN,
problem. Why are you not in tune?
But
It's
because
on every
that's
news
not
channel.
because if your focus is ball, playing ball, making money, I don't know what her personal family situation is like. She's from Waco, you know. So at the end of the day, there are so many things.
That's why
And there are a lot of
people. She's from Waco.
But here's the thing,
And Colin Allred.
there is a lot of people that are just surviving. They don't know what's going on in the world, because in their world, they trying to figure out how much what they can get to.
Time out. No. That's not a Brittany Griner situation. She is not living check to check. And if she is, shame on her. Shame on her. If
We
she living
don't get
check to
her
check.
family. She's got a lot of family, and if they're all depending on her, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a
We
whole
cannot
nother
do
conversation
that, yeah.
because you are not responsible for your parents. It's good that you look out for them if you can, but you are not responsible for them. Now they done paraded they have paraded her wife out there, but I ain't seen no mama, no daddy, no auntie, no uncle. I haven't seen them. I ain't seen the cousins talking about come on home because she got to pay my phone bill. I haven't seen that, but I have seen the wife. And everybody's talking about the wife, so I haven't seen that. So her, you can't make me believe. So she's got a contract in Russia, okay, to play for them however many years. But there's a whole war going on. There is absolutely no excuse. Not when my 11-year-old knows about a war in Russia. So the black folks that sit up here and don't watch TV, well, shame on you. You fall into a hole. They told you the hole was out there. You didn't pay attention. That's on you. We can no longer make excuses for people because ignorance of the law is no excuse. So if you say, well, I didn't know that I can't go 75 miles per hour down this street because back there it says 75 miles, but this one says 35, that's on you. You still pay that ticket. We can't say, well, you know what? It's the agent's fault. It's this person. This is all over the world.
Yeah,
on
and
the news.
I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying this is a good takeaway, because people are unaware. But
if you don't know it's a war going on in Ukraine and Russia is responsible for an illegal war and they are committing war crimes, then take your ass right on over there, and whatever happened. Because that's ridiculous. And I'm not giving no passes for that. I give passes for a lot of things. I'm not giving no passes for that.
I disagree. I do disagree on that.
I'm not giving no passes.
I definitely.
She on Twitter. It's all over Twitter feed. It's unbelievable. You on Instagram. It's on Instagram. You turn on. You don't listen to the radio. You just listen to Sirius XM. It's on Sirius XM. You don't watch the news. That's fine. You only watch YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's no way to say I didn't know. It's no way. That's asinine. It's ignorant. I ain't letting that one stand. She knew. She just felt like it wasn't her business. It wasn't part of her. It wasn't going to be her. That's what happened. Now we about to trade a war criminal for her, and this other man that was accused of espionage. That's what's happening. So we are now being leveraged, and I feel very strongly about that. The United States is being leveraged to bring Brittany Griner home. Now, we can say she didn't have no business over there. We can say she didn't have any vape pens over there. I disagree with the whole vape pen thing because we lost a American football player, a black guy, because he had social anxiety, because the league kicked him out because he needed to smoke weed to be able to go out there on that field and perform. So I'm not going to talk about the candidate, but I am not letting that stand that she didn't know what was going on, because if she didn't, shame on her. She know now. She know now. All right, we're going to go on and get out of here. This is Coy with the Black Tea Sip. We'll do it again, same bat chime, same bat channel. Lola, you want to give us an update on your love life?
Yeah, well, I haven't been on a date in these past 2 weeks because I've had a lot going on, but I did...
you didn't meet nobody? On the online site?
Yeah, I've met a few people on the online side. I am going to get back and being focused. They message you and I say hi and forget that I messaged them back or whatever. So
you're inconsistent.
I've had some hiccups right now, and I'm not inconsistent. I am I have priorities. That is what I have. And so it is a priority, but it is a priority after what else I have on my agenda.
Are any of these people that you're communicating with 6'5"?
Yeah, there's actually two.
2'6'5". Do they know that you're almost a midget?
Yeah, they know exactly that I am 5'4".
Okay, because Twitter says that that's pedophilia.
Okay, well,
I'm 5'4".
That's beautiful.
I mean,
we're the same height.
Yes, we
wonderful.
are. And I don't really. I like a man that's close to 6 feet because I wear tall heels, and I don't want to be taller than him in my life or pictures. I mean, you know.
And that's comfortable
5'9",
for her.
5. I mean, I wear 5-inch heels. I've been known to wear 6-inch heels. Not often, but I have worn them. I'm a walker. I can walk.
Yes, you can.
I can walk. So, but I never said. I just think 6'5" is he's like a sleeve stack.
And
I did date a guy that was 6'5" one time.
To me,
I did date a guy that was 6'5". He was just it was like he was way up here.
I loved it.
Way, you know, up in the. If people can't see me in radio land, it's like way up in the sky. I did date a guy that was 6'5".
Well, what? And I think that it's good that you date what you're comfortable with. And when you're comfortable with 6 feet, you should date 6 feet. I'm comfortable with 6'5". I'm comfortable with 6 feet.
She gonna marry a man 5'9" just cause she saying all of this.
Okay.
You want us to put him some Prince boots on? And then he could be if he's 5'9" and you want to be 6'5". Well, I can give him my 6 inches, but
the man I marry won't need anything from us, okay? I guarantee that.
All right. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. Love, peace, and hair grease, and we'll do it again next week. Oak Cliff, stand up.